Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's episode I want to show you two battle reports that can help us understand an important question in State of Survival. Should you upgrade the Cyclone Hunter Mech or should you invest in Skycleaver? Before we start, please watch the video until the end. It really helps the channel and I also appreciate everyone who does not skip the ads. Your support allows me to continue making these guides. And if you find this test useful, please share the video with your alliance and your friends. For this test I prepared two battle reports. The goal was to create almost identical conditions and reproduce the same setup as closely as possible. We wanted to control the number of troops, heroes, pets, mechs and other bonuses that can affect the final battle result. There is only one major difference between these two reports, the Hunter Mech. In the first report we used Skycleaver, in the second report we used Cyclone. The reason for this test is simple. If you currently have a choice between upgrading Cyclone or Skycleaver, I want to show you why Skycleaver may not be the best investment right now. The test was done during a rally, not in a solo battle. This is important because a solo fight could give us a less reliable result. A rally gives us a larger number of troops and allows us to compare the effects of the mechs in more realistic battle situation. So let's look at the first report. We have around 644,000 troops fighting against approximately 1.23 million enemy troops. The game shows this battle as a victory, but in reality it ended much closer to a draw because there were no troops left stationed on either side. Now let's look at the important statistic. In this report we can see a negative 24% vehicle statistic. We also have an advantage from the Arc Warden Mech for infantry and an average from Juggernaut for riders. But the interesting part is the Hunter Mech. Here Skycleaver is much more developed. Its skills are at high level, including the Resilience Blade skill. You would normally expect a stronger and more upgraded mech to give us a better result, but that is not what we see. Skycleaver doesn't only focus on creating wounds and increasing damage against enemy troops. Some of its abilities are also designed to protect our troops and reduce the damage coming from the enemy. The problem is that these defensive effects are not as valuable in this specific situation as the damage focused effects provided by Cyclone. Now let's move to the second report. The conditions are almost exactly the same. We have the same number of our troops, we have also the same number of troops from the player Rashina Orenia who helped me with this test. The big difference is the Hunter Mech. This time Cyclone was used. And the result is very interesting. Instead of having 24% negative vehicle statistics, we now have almost 13% positive vehicle statistic. Even more importantly, around 211,000 troops survived. The infantry and rider mech statistic didn't change very much between the two tests, but the hunter statistics changed significantly. With Cyclone we generated more kills and much more direct damage. Of course, we don't have the same troop protection effects here because Cyclone is focused much more strongly on increasing damage. And this is exactly what makes the difference. There is another very interesting detail that you should remember. In the first report, Skycleaver had higher skill levels, and now we are talking about level 9 and level 10 skills. Cyclone, on the other hand, has these important skills at only level 6 and level 6. So, despite having much lower skill levels, Cyclone produces a better result in this test. This may sound strange, but it is connected on how Cyclone has been nerfed at a higher levels. Increasing the skill level does not always mean you will receive the same value that you would expect from the higher numbers. This is something I strongly recommend keeping in mind before spending your resources. Based on these two reports, my conclusion is quite simple. If you have to choose between upgrading Cyclone or Skycleaver, I would currently give Cyclone the priority for damage-focused hunter rallies. Skycleaver can still have useful defensive effects, and it is not a completely useless mech, but after the nerfs, its influence on the final battle result can be much smaller than expected. Remember, this is a controlled test, not a guarantee that every single battle will produce exactly the same numbers. Many things can change the result, including heroes, pets, troop composition, bonuses, equipment, battle order and other statistics. However, when we keep the conditions almost identical and change mainly the hunter mech, the difference becomes very interesting. So before you spend your next resources on Skycleaver, take a good look at your Cyclone and consider whether improving it could give you a more value. Let me know in the comments what do you think. Do you currently use Cyclone or Skycleaver? And have you noticed a similar difference in your own rallies? Please share this guide with your alliance and with the other State of Survival players. Maybe this test can help someone avoid spending valuable resources on the wrong mech, on the wrong upgrade. Thank you very much for watching until the end, and again thank you for not skipping the ads. Your support really helps the channel. And if you enjoyed the guide, leave a comment, share the video and subscribe for more State of Survival tests, guides and battle analysis. See you in the next video.